Hey, subscribers! It's Ethan here. Well, okay, so I'm already been saying myself like through Twitter a couple times, of course. So I figured, for a while, since you have seen me for almost like a couple weeks ago, that I have returned to work, and guess why I am recording right now in live stream. As you can see, I have in a thumbnail, or maybe the thumbnail has changed or not, I'm not sure. But, see this? I've been playing this on PlayStation 3 with Ratchet Deadlock up in Arsenal since I beaten the couple of the games through there, and the PlayStation 3 of course, on my own time, after I beat Last of Us Part 2. But I'm not gonna go down and talk about that in the channel. So, yeah, if you guys want to hear my expressive opinion about The Last of Us Part 2, you have to go and DM me or talk to me privately about it. Because right now I'm not going to speak about Last of Us Part 2 in the channel, so you know. Okay, so I'm not going to talk about that myself. But what I'm going to do is tell you guys I'm going to be reviewing of all 4 classic Ratchet and Clank games. Of course, there is 3 trilogy Ratchet and Clank games that were from PlayStation 2, but I was able to play probably a couple of them. Let's see, I was playing up an Arsenal through the collection, the HD collection for Ratchet and Clank. So, and of course, let me see if I have Ratchet and Clank someplace over here, but I don't think so. But at least I get enough knowledge with three or 4 games now of the knowledge. I'm not gonna talk about the Ratchet and Clank Future Saga yet because I gotta play those all the way through for later time. But I did manage to beat Ratchet and Clank Tools of Destruction. I was able to do that, but I just haven't beat the others yet. Of course, Size That Matters. I did beat that one in the PSP back I was a younger kid, but I don't count it because it's a spin-off and it is one of those classic sagas that before the future came around, and then their designs a bit different than they were in that picture right there, as you can see. Okay, so without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about what are my ratings and why I'm gonna put like reviews between first, second, third, and fourth. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna explain the pros and cons from the pros, which is for like a games I think was great about it. Cons is something that it's not good about. So, and another thing too is I'm gonna be rating up to like 4 games in all those classic Ratchet and Clank games, since I did play all 4, including the first Ratchet and Clank, Ratchet and Clank going Commando, Ratchet and Clank up in Arsenal. Give me a second. Alright, so this is the game right here. So this is another game that I'm gonna be rating. And not only that one, this one right here too. So, yeah, just keep in mind I'm going to be rating 4 games. And I'll tell you what rankings they are, pros and cons, and the ratings, so you guys get the full picture. And hourly ratings, I will give you the overall rating for all the trilogies and stuff. Okay, so without further ado, let's get this over with, so that way that I don't like accidentally talk too long with this live stream. So, okay, so let's talk about the first Ratchet and Clank game on the PS2. Do not say about reimagination for the PlayStation 4. That one I don't count because it's a reimagination. So keep in mind it's a PlayStation 2 version, and it's the first ever Ratchet and Clank game that was on the PlayStation 2. So, okay, let's talk about Ratchet and Clank first game first, okay? So, I'm not gonna explain the story and stuff, all of it. I will say this. This is the first Ratchet and Clank game that actually has you know, let's just say Ratchet and Clank. Let's say this. They both don't get along as well the first game. But then they are growing their trust, their bondings. They're just trying to grow their friendship and stuff. Even if they didn't get along so well in the first game. And then they'll warm up to each other and agree with something. And so, yeah, that's what makes Ratchet and Clank the first one great. Okay, so what comes from me with this game, the first Ratchet and Clank, I think, personally, if you were talking about the weapons and stuff, I say the weapons in that game, I noticed, it's not bad. It's actually not a bad weapons. There's some little few weapons are just not as useful in the game. I forget which ones, because it's hard to remember every weapon in the game, but I could say the weapons are good in that one. Like, I would say it's not the worst, but it's great. But, and then also, you can also get, like, few new gadgets that are attainable. That's just from, like, several characters are in the game, of course. Captain Quark. Oh, jeez, Captain Quark. Don't get me started with him. Let's just say he's got his own complexity with his choosing evil and good. If you guys believe he's good, to me he's just some kind of laughable hero character figure that doesn't make any sense. I mean, the villain in that game, oh yeah, Chairman Drek is just a cool villain I like. He's a cool villain, don't get me wrong. But the thing is, with the first Ratchet and Clank, the story, obviously I'm telling you, the story is really good when it first start out. And I did hear, like, several people that they say it's not the best with the speedrun. But I don't do any speedruns because that's not my cup of tea. So I don't care about that. I just play casually for all of those Ratchet and Clank games. I don't speedrun really, so I don't think I'll say that's a con. But I'm pretty sure there is some things in the game. It's just kind of, yeah. I mean, they're not. I mean, the bosses and stuff. They're tough, but once you get used to it, you got used to it. But there's like some puzzles, like hacking puzzles. Some of them are just so hard, and some of them are just like, not as hard as people think. But I would say, for the first Ratchet and Clank game that I played, that was my first ever Ratchet and Clank game, by the way, guys. Back in my childhood, so. But as for my rating for that game, for Ratchet and Clank, the first one, the original, PlayStation 2 version, I'm being honest, I'm giving this game around 8 out of 10 because I enjoyed the story so much. It was so memorable, and also I do like some kind of like great battles in there, or even memorable story, and all those things. But I would definitely say first one is just one of the best games I play, and it was a memorable game to me. So, and also you get to do the hoverboard, and it's so fun. Yeah. Okay. So that's all for the first Ratchet and Clank game. Now we're going to Ratchet and Clank going Commando. Okay, so for Ratchet and Clank going Commando, it start off like after the events from the first Ratchet and Clank game that start off from there. And with that one, guys, I would say the story, weapons, there are some good weapons in that game, and then some weapons are actually a lot more better than the first Ratchet and Clank game. Not all of them are the best, but they're decently great. So, And also, there is another thing I like about that game so much was it had some space battle, like a flying simulation space battle. So that is like one of those things I like from the going Commando. At first, I wasn't gonna like how the visuals and the gameplay was at first, and then when I got used to it, I like it. So of course, maybe a little bit of differences with music and the planets and stuff. I mean, planets, yeah, they're great, and plus, I thought there was some mini games in that game. It just looks fun, and also you got the nice space battle in there. I love that so much. Or even they have good music in that one. So pretty much there's some music in Ratchet and Clank are just so better. They're so good. So let's see. The story, I don't think the story is that bad. I don't think it's like the most best story of every Ratchet and Clank game I play. But it is a good story game. But at least it isn't messed up like the others. I honestly like the way the storytelling was, even if I'm not like 100% loving it. But I like it for sure. Let's just say the ending of the game was kind of something that you kids don't want to see. I'm not gonna tell you why, but that's just my opinion. But the final boss, he's a tough kicker. He's really tough. If you don't know what you're doing in that battle, you guys would have been toast. And plus, at least the weapons, what's a ground up is you can actually upgrade your weapons with experience points and also with experience points with health, or maybe not, I'm not sure. But I do know the weapons is you go experience to level 1 or level 2, all that. So, yeah. And there were some funny jokes in there as well, so I do love that one myself. But other than that, this game, I'm going to give it a rating. Honestly, I'm going to give that game up to... Thanks to the space battles and stuff, I'm giving this game around 8.5 out of 10 for that, because the reason why I rated it a little bit higher than the first, because of course there was some battles going on and everything. I know there was great characters, great mechanics and stuff. I mean, I don't know why I'm rating this a bit higher than the first one. Again, that was because of what they got in the mini games and stuff that kind of made me feel that way. But that doesn't replace my nostalgic. But yeah, it's great. It's totally great. The next game after that, I'm gonna tell you. Next game is, yeah, that's right. Let me go show you on the TV screen again, so you guys know what game I'm talking about. Next game I'm rating is this one. Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal. Okay, so I managed to play this game over there. I played that after I left off from MC's house. And so I've been going to progress with this game, along with while I was playing Last of Us Part 2. So now I get a better expression when I play the game, after I beat it, of course. Alright, now, let's get this over with this third game. In my own opinion, the game actually has great... It's a stand-up from the second and the first game. With the experience points with a gun, and with weapons, also with your health. There's some things in the game are just kind of a stand-up from the first two, so which is great. But the weapons, in my own opinion, guys, hate to bring it to ya, but it isn't as better as the first two Ratchet and Clank games. You know why? Because there's some weapons in the game, even if you upgrade them, some are just kind of not as great as the other. Because that game, it really stands out the toughest. And not only that, this game actually has, the first time ever in the years, we have a Ratchet and Clank game that does multiplayer. So, I didn't get around to that, but Anyway, yeah, but there is some things in the game that I do like is you customize your ship, you customize your armor. I like that. I like that. I like that. The story is kind of good too because Ratchet has more characters to get involved with. And yeah, and Captain Quark has been going secretly going from like, what was it? He's going to like this main villain. His name is Dr. Navarius. He is one of those villains that, in my opinion, he's not one of my favorites, I'll be honest with you. But he does have some cool ideas, like making into every living creatures, whatever, turn into robots. Oh, that's crazy, guys. That's crazy. But I do like one thing though, is like there's challenges that you go like a war or something, or even you go on like, let's see, the bikes with the turrets or hover ship, all that jazz. I'll be honest, guys, that game, the story is good, but the weapons, they're terrible. They're not as great as the first two Ratchet and Clank games. I'll be honest with myself. But it is a lot more tougher than the first two Ratchet and Clank games. That is for sure. That is a for sure, I can say. But, alright, so with Up Your Arsenal, with that one, guys, I do like that one as well. At least I don't hate it, because at least I like it. But if it weren't for the weapon systems, I'm pretty sure I would have liked it more, but nope, it's not as great. But I'll tell you this now. My rating of this game I have here, I'm going to give this game around, unfortunately, I'm giving this game around 7 out of 10. Reason why? Well, let's say the weapon systems, I bought that up. That's a reason. If it weren't for the weapon systems and everything, I'm pretty sure I'll like it more. But to me, it's just like, that's like between all three games. I'll be honest, that game, in my opinion, is the weakest of all trilogies. And I'm not saying it's the worst. No way. No way. I like it myself. I just think, in my opinion, this story is great. The weapons are weak. They're not as stronger as the first two Ratchet and Clank games. Even if I put in a bit of experience points. Also, you can put experience points with health, which is good. I mean, don't worry, guys. At least I like all three trilogy games. At least that's something. But I'll tell you that after I tell you the next game after that. And I'm going to add it because it contains the story. Last game I'm going to review before I get to the final verdict and stuff is this game I just showed you earlier, Ratchet Deadlock. Okay, so, alright, I'm going to get this over with, and then I'll tell you the rankings, and then overall with the classic trilogy, classic Ratchet and Clank games, size and matters, I don't count in because it's a spin-off, so, yeah. Alright, so, I'll tell you about what I just beat today, Ratchet Deadlock. Okay, so this time around, you get to play only Ratchet. Clank is not going to be with you. That's because Insomniac Games, they're trying to make something different. Like, they're trying to make it like a solo characters only with that game. But I don't get some people's criticism say Ratchet there you only get to play as Ratchet and no Clank. Oh, come on, guys. Live it up. Live that up. I played Clank with the actual Clank game called Secret Ancient Clank, and I didn't think it was a bugger to me. I mean, what's wrong with you guys? You guys are seeming to be so picky in certain things. But I don't mean to a little rant there, because to me it's just so stupid, okay? It's so stupid. Okay, so besides my little rant, alright, so I'll tell you the story, and I'll tell you, like, the pros and cons and all that. Okay, so, the first thing I'm going to start off with is, I'll tell you this, Some people say this game's a spin-off, but if it was a spin-off, then how come there's some events from the beginning of the game actually looks like it was attached after Ratchet and Clank 3, Up Your Arsenal. It didn't have any of, it just has after events after that, I noticed. And it's actually the last Ratchet and Clank game for the classics, but it's not the last Ratchet and Clank in general, but it is the last for classics. But okay, I'll tell you this. The story, it's just so good. It's just so decent. It's not as bad as people say. And I did hear like some, hey Edison, what's up, man? I'm just bringing up the Ratchet and Clank games. Right now I'm just talking about this game on the screen. So, yeah. Well, at least you didn't tune in too late, so you're okay. Alright, so what I was saying is with Ratchet Deadlock, the gameplay, oh man, oh man, oh man. It looked fun, guys. I actually had a blast with this game. I actually had a fantastic time with this game. Fantastic. And not only fantastic, I think those one thing is in the weapon systems. Alright guys, you guys will be a little bit surprised. Hey, MusicClues, what's up, man? Right now I'm just bringing up about the Ratchet and Clank games, since I already beat the 4th one today. So, might as well go get this over with this live stream. So, I'll recap. Oh yes, there is still Sly Cooper, exactly. But thing is, I'm gonna get around to that later on if I have the chance. But I'll tell you after I rate the Ratchet Deadlock, okay? So, back to what I was saying. Ratchet Deadlock. Okay, so obviously I'm telling you, the gameplay is so much fun. And I did hear one thing was so stupid. It's repetitive. If it was so repetitive, then how come I already have a good motivation that I still play all the way through? This is so stupid. I'll be honest with you guys. Whatever you do, if some people or some reviewers say it like that, that means they probably don't enjoy Ratchet and Clank games. So maybe they do, but they just didn't enjoy it as much as this one. So don't listen to the reviewers and what they say to you. That's my advice. Trust yourself at times, or even fans at times. But to me, I'm gonna say this now with this. All right, so get back to what I was doing. All right, so with Ratchet Deadlock, the story does take place after Up Your Arsenal, and you're in the place, and it's called Dead Zone Station. That Ratchet gets to fight in some kind of like arenas. So he's like a gladiator type character, and guess what you have with him instead with Clank? Instead, you get 2 bots, the battle bots with you, which makes it a little cooler, honestly. So, I'm not going to say anything more about the story, but I could say that solo game with Ratchet, it's just so fun and great. And to me, I bet you guys, if you play this game, his armor or some things in the game will remind you of Halo series. So you guys know, it might remind you of Halo a little bit, but not completely, but a little bit. Little vibe of the Halo series. That's just coming from somebody who plays Halo games. So, yeah. Okay, so the weapons. Oh, guys, I'll tell you the weapons now. The weapons in that game, I'll be honest with myself, they're the best for all the weapons that I've seen in a while from all 3 games. So I'll be honest with myself, that's like the best weapon system I've seen in the rest of the Ratchet and Clank games. Well, I just meant for all 3, not the future, because I don't say about the future yet, because I gotta play it all. Then I can put it all together. So with the weapon systems in that game, And sure, there's a less value weapons like than the rest of the 3 games, but personally, I think it's a lot more better with the weapon choices, because some weapons you can actually upgrade them till level 10, not level 5. Level 5, you are in up an arsenal. But I do say this, I'll be honest, that has the best pistols, the dual vipers. It's a lot more better than the blaster or type of pistol like weapons from the last 3 games. It had the best. It's just overwhelms the enemies. Not only that, it's the first time ever the Ratchet and Clank game actually has a difficulty. Rest of the 3, it does not. So, yeah. So and also you could go on to lander, like a spider like vehicle, upper ship. You got that. Then also you got like some kind of like bike, which looks fun. Also has a little bit of ring race to it, kind of like Spiral or even there's some games you guys will remind you of. I'm pretty sure of it. So yeah, with this, guys, Ratchet Deadlock, I'll give you my rating right now. Of course, the final boss was a bit tough, but I managed to beat him. But I say he's definitely one of the tough bosses I played against, but he's not completely that hard. So I put it in the mode for me. I put it gladiator mode, 3 stars, because I'm starting out like medium mode usually every game. I'm not going easy mode all the time because it's not fair to myself. I want a bit challenge. I just want like a challenge. Because I'm so good with Ratchet and Clank games, I figured spike up the difficulty at times, you know? Don't do it all the time, but I just put it in medium. Yep. Alright, so the rating of this game I have for this game, you guys will be so surprised, I would give it Ratchet Deadlock up to 8.5 out of 10. So the reasons why I put it that high than the rest of the games I played, well, I don't know if I rated Ratchet and Clank Going Commando. Going to Commando has great story and stuff, but this time there's a reason behind it. Playing as Ratchet looks seem to be unique. It's not as bad as people think, but with the 4th installment, I think I found it as the best 4th installment in a while for me. It's even better than, I dare say, Spiral Enter the Dragon and Crash War for Vortex. But don't say about the Activision's game yet, because I still have yet to play. And it's not out yet, so for now I'll say this. With this one, it's the best 4th installment for the series. Now all 4th installments or 3rd installments doesn't go that great usually in the gaming series. So, if you guys are wondering, but okay. Oh yeah, I know. I was surprised myself while I was playing all the way through. I know, I agree. I know, it was a shocker, but that's part of me saying I'm really enjoying it than what I thought right now. So, sure that the people out there are just like, nah, that game's not the best. Well, go try out this game. That'll prove it to you. Go try out that game. Alright, so okay, let's just get to the rankings, shall we? Even if I rate them all. How about the rankings? The top to bottom, okay? So the 4th game, I'm gonna do 4 to 1, okay? So, alright, let's get to that. Alright, 4th game, I'm putting in before 4 classic Ratchet and Clank games. I'm putting Ratchet and Clank You Up for Arsenal. I know you guys are going to be like, why'd you put that low? I have a reason why. Number 1, the weapon system. It's not as great as the rest of the weapon systems in the great game. I'm being honest myself. It's not like I hate it. It's not like I dislike it. It's nothing to do with that. I just think the weapon system could have been a lot more better. Okay? I mean, of course I have other reasons too, but it's just hard to put it. All I can say is the weapon systems of that game, it's just not as great as the others. So, yeah, if it weren't for all that, I'm pretty sure I'll put a little bit higher, but I'm putting number 4 just because of that. Yes, exactly. Yep, exactly, guys. Yep. So, for that, that's a reason I'm putting in number 4 for Ratchet and Clank. Up your arsenal. That's number 4. Number 3. All right, number 3. I am putting Ratchet and Clank going Commando. Okay, so reason why I'm putting it like in number 3. Reason why that is, sure that it's a little bit higher, just like Deadlock. There's a reason behind it. Okay, so if it weren't for like some kind of ending of the game, I'm pretty sure I would put it a little bit higher in second place. Not first place, second place. That's because the weapons in that one is a bit better than the third one. Sure it has like some confusion from me. That's just somebody who knows about this series a bit better. And sure that the story was great. I mean, the characters, they're great. I am sure of that. There's just some things about the game just doesn't fit my liking. But I love the game myself. Don't get me wrong. I love it myself. Sure, the first time I played it, there was weird ways to have Ratchet walk like differently from the first one. But I think in that one, it's just enjoyable. It's enjoyable. But, alright. So, next game after that, number 2. I am putting Ratchet Deadlock in this one. Reason why I'm putting it there is the story, the weapon system, and the mechanics in the game. Sure, the way Ratchet walks like weirdly and you control it feels differently. It's because Ratchet just doesn't have Clank with him. You don't like throw your wrench like you're ducking like you did the rest of the 3 games. It's a lot more different this time. So to me, I just found it more enjoyable. The difficulty, I like that. I love that. The story is obviously, you know the reason. It's great, and and I just found it was, sure it's a bit short. Sure it's a bit short length, but it's not completely trash. It's not completely trash. Believe me on that. So, it's in second place. And number 1, you guys will probably be like, really? Really? I'll put Ratchet and Clank, the PlayStation 2 version, as my number 1. Okay, so I could say this between. Okay. So obviously, reason why I put it in number 1, because of nostalgic. There was weapon system in there, and also, I feel like I can't replace it. I just can't replace that one. Even if Deadlock just looks so great, I just can't replace it. So, if it weren't for that nostalgicness for that game, if I play that game more first than that one, I'm pretty sure I'll put it number 1 for myself. If it weren't for my nostalgicness in there, so I can't replace the nostalgic game, but I could say Deadlock would have been my number 1 weren't for the nostalgic. So I'm pretty sure you guys will understand. It'll have been number 1 for that. Sure, the story was kind of so memorable to me. Jokes are in there. The weapons are great. And everything else, I gotta say, they're great. So, there's all my rankings. Just to recap, okay? Number 4, Ratchet and Clank, Up Your Arsenal. Number 3, Ratchet and Clank, Going Commando. Number 2, Ratchet Deadlock. And then lastly, Ratchet and Clank, PlayStation 2 version. So, that's all for that. And overall, for the classics, is I would give the rating for the classics. I'll give it 8.5 out of 10 for this. So I would say, in overall, in my personal opinion, I just find the classic Ratchet Clank games are just so memorable. They're just so great, so much fun, as if you played the PlayStation while you're a kid or PlayStation 2. If you play on PlayStation 4, you'll probably find my opinion differently. So I'll be honest with myself, guys. I find the trilogy of the series, the rest of the series, the best trilogy I played in a long time. So, like, it's better than Spiral Trilogy. It's better than Crash Trilogy. So I find the series is the best series I noticed. So, yep, that's pretty much what I got for you, everybody. Other than that, that's all for my rankings and all for my reviews about Ratchet and Clank series. But later on, I'm going to try out this game a bit more further. Is Infamous. So, yeah. Alright, so other than that, thanks for tuning in to my review of Ratchet Clank reviews for classics. Not future, so, yeah. Alright, I'm going to sign out and enjoy the rest of the time, okay? Good thing you guys saw me in the video, so you get to watch it for later. Alright, this is Ethan signing out. I hope everybody enjoys their day, and everybody, I hope you guys enjoy your gaming day. Take care.